On May 10, 1940, the Nazis invaded the Netherlands. They expected the conquest to take one day. Instead, the Dutch army held out for 5 days, surrendering only after the Nazis bombed the city of Rotterdam. At the time, Tina Strobos was a medical student in Amsterdam, hoping to study psychiatry, living in a house with her mother, Marie. But the Nazi invasion altered her plans. On the first day of the occupation, 3 generations of Tina's family joined the Dutch resistance by hiding Henry Pollack, a well-known Jewish writer and outspoken trade unionist, at the home of Tina's 80-year-old grandmother, Marie. Soon, a carpenter associated with the underground built a cleverly concealed hiding place in their attic. The Gestapo, noticing increased activity in the area, raided their house on 8 separate occasions. Often, a secret contact at Gestapo headquarters would phone ahead and tip them off about an upcoming raid, which was usually in the evening. When the Gestapo arrived, Tina or her mother rang a secret buzzer to alert the Jews to hide in the attic or escape out a window and then jump over to the roof of the school next door. Tina and her mother would hide 4 or 5 people at a time until they could be moved on to other safe houses. Some stayed for a few days, others lived with them for months. Typically, Tina, her mother, grandmother, their maid, and the hidden Jews all lived together on the 3rd floor. The Gestapo never succeeded in finding any Jews in their home. As part of the effort, Tina became an expert at falsifying Dutch passports and identity cards for those they hid. For the 5 years of the Nazi occupation, she traveled the country at her own peril, taking Jews to safe houses and helping them to the border. In addition to the raids on the house, Tina was arrested and interrogated 9 times, but she never revealed the truth. She did whatever was necessary to survive these interrogations and achieve her goals. Sometimes she would flatter the officers, speaking perfect German. At other times, she would request an interpreter so she could hear the questions twice, giving her time to fabricate her false answer. These interrogations were not her only experiences at Gestapo headquarters. She also went there several times to intercede on behalf of 4 of her closest Jewish friends after they were arrested. She managed to convince the commandant to release 3 of them. Unfortunately, Leon Nordheim was found guilty and shot. For many years, Tina had nightmares about that time of her life. When the war ended, Tina continued her medical studies, fulfilling her dream of becoming a psychiatrist. In the 1950s, she and her husband Robert emigrated to the United States. Over the next few decades, Dr. Strobos balanced her career as a psychiatrist while raising her 3 children. Through this period, she never spoke about what she and her family did throughout the war. Only in the 1980s, when Dr. Strobos' activities in the Dutch resistance came to light, did she begin to talk about it. In 1989, Tina Strobos and her mother were recognized as righteous amongst the nations, the official designation of the State of Israel for those who risked their lives to save Jews from the Nazis. Their names can be found inscribed on a wall near Oskar Schindler's in the Garden of the Righteous at Yad Vashem. Tina always stresses the fact that many Dutch citizens who have never been officially recognized risked their lives to save others. Tina's uncle Jacob helped at least as many Jews as Tina and her mother did, but was caught and spent a year in a concentration camp. And many other rescuers died before they could be recognized. Tina, her mother, and her grandmother were determined to do what they saw as their natural duty and simply the decent thing to do. They saw no benefit to themselves in giving up the Jews they were protecting. Certainly those who were saved never forgot the headstrong, independent, courageous young woman named Tina and her family.
All right, it's a great honor to ask Tova to please come forward to give Dr. Tina Strobos her Courage to Care Award. Thank you.
Thank you for Hatikva. We could all get up and sing a chorus, for heaven's sakes. Anyway, it's wonderful to be asked to bestow such a fitting honor. And it's fitting that our paths crossed this evening. As I was preparing for the role of Irene Gut-Opdijk, who rescued 12 lives during the Holocaust, I studied the bravery of many rescuers and thought about what it must be like to take the lives of others, literally, into your own hands, to protect people, often absolute strangers, and take them into the inner circle of your daily life at enormous risk to yourself. Tonight, amazingly, I have the distinct honor and privilege to meet Dr. Tina Strobos, a true woman of valor, a saver of lives. And as I was reading about her and Irena, I realized they had so many crucial similarities. They both started their rescue efforts as teenagers at the age of 19. They both completed or enacted their mitzvot, their righteous actions, without reflection, simply because it was the right thing to do. They both have been recognized at Yad Vashem along with Otto Schindler. They both moved to the United States after the war and were blessed with children and grandchildren. And finally, the one difference is Irene Gut is among the angels now, but the angel Tina Strobos is still amongst us. Dr. Strobos, you deserve this award and all the recognitions that Earth has to offer. Really, I don't think that language can contain the words to thank you for all that you risked over and over and over again. You devoted the better part of 5 years of your very precious young life to the tikkun of rescue. The principle of tikkun olam, of course, is from the Talmud that says each human being is put upon this earth for the purpose of healing the world. You set an example for all of us, and it gives me such great pleasure to present you with the HHREC's Courage to Care Award. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Tina Strobos.